What's up, everyone? Welcome back. We're doing a review today of the Sonic Coat Minnow from Strike King. Talk about it right now. Thanks everyone for watching. As you know, we do a lot of tackle reviews. First I start off with unboxings, and it's been about a month, and I got this package from Strike King with all their new stuff, or most of their new stuff. And the one thing that really intrigued me the most was this minnow. It's called the Spotlight Sonic Coat Minnow. So it's a minnow bait. Do we need another minnow? Yes, there's always room for more minnows. It's just part of fishing right now. And it's, like I said, this was really the one that stood out to me the most because I knew I could fish it and really get some insight onto it. The thing that really stood out to me, it's a minnow. It looks good. We'll kind of break it down. But it uses this stuff from Spike It called their Sonic Coat, which is supposed to show up better on forward-facing sonar. That's a big claim. I said that in that first video. I don't know if this is true. I don't know if it's better than the other stuff. I don't really know, and I'm still not sure. I could see the bait, but I use a tungsten jig head, which is denser, so it shows up pretty well. I got my settings pretty well dialed in, I would think. I've done it quite a bit, so it shows up. So I fished it back and forth with, your standard baits that don't have this material, and maybe it shows up a little bit better. I'm not really sure that it does. I'm not saying that it doesn't, but it wasn't like noticeably different. It didn't like glow in the dark or anything like that. But it is a product that's out there. Spike It's really reputable. They make great scents, the markers, things like that. And the Sonic Coat stuff, you can buy the tube by itself, but this is a Strike King bait that has it basically built into it or poured into it or however they do it. So it does, show up maybe a little bit better. Again, I'm not gonna make the claim that it does, but that it's game changing or, the game changer, but it is cool that their companies are seeing ways to, have products you just show up better, be more optimized for forward facing. We're seeing that with all the different styles of jig heads, the different minnows that do different things and roll, and braided line that is very thin that cuts through the water. Everything is designed to make forward facing sonar easier to see your bait, including this. So take that for what it's worth. That's just my experience. It does show up. I can't say that it's that much better. But we'll talk about the bait itself, because I thought the minnow was really cool. just the bait itself, taking all that stuff out of it, I thought it was really a detailed looking minnow with great action. So there's a couple different sizes. This is a little bitty 3-inch, and I like that little tail design, that little fork tail. There's also a 4-inch bait as well, and I have caught fish on both. Nothing crazy, like I haven't caught any big ones honestly, but it does get bit. They're chasing shad, so I'm not going to say it's better than just a standard minnow. All the stuff that we normally use, but it does have a really good tail action on there, so it does look really good in the water. Some good looking colors. It is Strike King. These are pretty durable as well. It's a lot more durable than some that are super soft. A lot of the JDM plastics that are a fish or two if you're lucky. This is more durable. Caught several fish on. I think it's still tied up to my rod, but it's got teeth marks and the bait didn't come down. It was just a very durable plastic, which I really like, but it still has really great action. And then it's got that addition of the Sonic Coat stuff. So really like that. I like that the look and feel of this minnow. It does what it's supposed to. It catches fish. I'm still TBD on that, how well it shows up, if it's that much better. But just taking it strictly for a bait, it's a good looking bait that works, that catches fish. Like I said, I'm going to keep fishing this some more, but that's really my first honest opinions. I try to say the good and the bad, and if I'm unsure, and this is something I'm unsure about at this time, but I'm going to keep fishing it side by side with some other stuff, and maybe there'll be instances where it shows up better in certain conditions or whatever the case. But it is a good minnow that is brand new from Strike King, the Spotlight Sonic Coat Minnow.